Okay, so we're going to talk about today something that's kind of annoying to us, but y'all might could find it funny. It's what annoys us about other people's driving, because we drive perfectly and everybody else does not. We are the crazy hope dealers and just wanted to give you some I guess tips on what we no, not tips, just really things we don't like about other people's driving. All right. So, Amy, I know wanted to talk.
Wow, I tell you, I'll tell you, there are certain people that literally drive me crazy when they
No
drive.
pun intended.
First of all, I like to be in control. So when somebody else is
Mhm.
driving, I'm always thinking to myself, I'm going to stay as far away I can from the car that's in front of me when I'm driving. Okay. I will drive the speed limit. Um, I may go 2 or 3 miles over, but I will drive the speed limit. So I think about these things. But something that absolutely drives me crazy when I'm in the car with somebody is when they don't think about the lights on their car being dim. And that is something that just ticks me off. No, it shouldn't tick me off. It concerns me because I'm really talking about Brandy. I'm really
I
talking
knew
about
you
Brandy here
were.
because she's driving around with these not even a flashlight. Like she is driving around with a flashlight that the batteries are fixing to go out. I'm concerned about her. So send us some text or something and encouraging her to get her headlights fixed. So that is
But
that
I
is
can see. I can
she
see.
says she can see. That's amazing. I was wanting to be in the back seat with my seatbelt on when she was driving, but that's okay. That's all right. It's okay too.
Well, so everything she described that she does, as in driving, I don't do that. And everything she said that and everything she said she dislikes, I do. So pretty much she is talking about me. No, things that bother me is people like I'm driving along, just going along, and then someone like there's nobody behind me, but somebody pulls out right in front of me and they go 20 and I have to like swerve around them to go around them because they almost they almost made me wreck, and it's their fault. It's all their fault because it can't be mine for going too fast.
Not at all. I'm always thinking when somebody coming, to the side street and they're gonna thinking about pulling out in front of me, I'm thinking, do they respect me enough not to pull out in front of me? Because I know when I come to a stop sign, I'm always thinking in my head, I respect that person. I'm not gonna scare them half to death. And so when somebody pulls out in front of me and then goes 20 miles an hour, I hate to say this, but I have been known to get right up on them.
I thought you said you didn't get right up on them.
I have been known to get right up on them and then just blow the horn.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I have done that. And to say that is not a very nice thing to do. Anyway, it makes me feel better.
Yeah, well, I know. And
That's terrible. That's terrible.
well, no, I had somebody actually pull out in front of me today and then stopped in the middle of the road. And this was on the parkway.
Wow.
And yeah, and I was like, did their car stop? What's going on? So then I'm here. It was in rush hour. And so I'm here like behind the car, and all these cars are flying by on the other side. And I'm like, I can't even, there's no way I can excel that fast to get into that lane. And then the guy just decides, oh, I'm on the street and I'll start driving now. So he starts driving really slow.
Was the
no
older guy?
hazard lights on at all, just driving really slow. And then
Uh,
I had to wait till the light changed, and because he stopped at the light way longer than everybody else because he was going 20. And so I kind of had to, when the light changed, I zoomed around him. And yeah,
was the older guy? Was the older guy?
I don't know. I was so mad I didn't even look.
You
I
didn't
just
even
like,
look.
yeah, I
Yeah.
had to get places and he was holding me up.
I kind of give people grace a little bit more, like if they are,
Than me,
people who
yes.
are, older, 'cause I even have senior moments, just gonna say. But
Because
yeah,
you are older than me.
yeah, I am. I'm your elder. But anyway, something that my husband does, and he knows this, so I can say this on here. But he has a train scanner in his car, and he drives so good. Like he really does. And he's always really nice about changing the station because he likes to listen to bluegrass. But when I get in the car, he'll change it because he knows that. So I have only good things to say about my husband. But he has this train scanner in his car, and the one thing that he's so used to is that thing going off, and I'm not. So when it goes
Could you
off,
explain what a train scanner is?
train scanner is something that picks up on oncoming trains that are coming into
Oh,
your cities, and it will call out their train number and all sorts of stuff. And
hmm.
but a lot of times when it starts, it'll just be static. And you're like, it's on volume 10. You know what I'm saying? And he's just driving along, and I'm like, it unnerves me because it like startles me that it's coming on.
That would
And then
startle me.
it'll go off, and then it'll come back on. DXF, blah 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 blah. And I promise you, we rode almost all the way back from Birmingham the other day with it being on a static, like. And finally, probably after about 20 miles, I finally looked at him and I said, "Do you think we can turn this off now?" So I try to be very nice because but some people can get so used to a noise. It's kind of like kids who cry on airplanes. It wouldn't faze me because I'm so used to kids crying. But for somebody who's not used to that, it would drive them crazy. So anyway.
Yes. Now we live close to a big city also, and it's just amazing sometimes what people will do out there. I was at a red light, and she was an elderly lady, so I am giving her a little grace, but not really because she was going the opposite direction in in the road, and then she realized what she was doing in the middle of the intersection and made a complete circle to turn around. She had all six lanes of traffic held up while this lady was doing like a little U-turn in the middle of the road. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And then I
Yeah.
was like, and then I looked to see, I was like, surely, that is a kind of confusing intersection. And I look at her tag. No, she's from that city.
She got confused. That's all it was.
Good.
How about people at roundabouts? I saw somebody the other day that was not going around. They were going counterclockwise.
Oh no.
It's like I just sat there in my car and I went, Lord protect them, just protect them. They don't know what they're doing. And it was an elderly lady. I felt so bad. I was scared to death that she was going to get hit. But,
Yes.
but anyway,
Well, I've seen this was a long time ago because in my city we never saw roundabouts until recently. And it was not me, so don't think it's me, but it was a friend of mine that was going in the roundabout, and she kept on going in the circle. She didn't know how to get out, and I was like, wait. It was so funny because she's like, I think I went around it twice, and then they were honking at me, and so I had to go out. I was
Bless
like,
her
oh
heart.
man, I don't think that was really in our driver's ed class. Like, I don't think
No,
we learned about that.
people don't like roundabouts, but they are really good at slowing traffic down and getting traffic moving. Because when you come to a stop sign or a stoplight, you're at the mercy of the time, you
Mm.
know. And but with roundabouts, it just makes you get people get so confused at it. I think they're used to where it is, and now everybody's building roundabouts where we live at.
Mm.
But people are getting used to them, which is a really good thing because my husband is in transportation engineering, so these are really good things. So if you come to a roundabout and you don't like it, just know you just keep moving.
Well, now, don't you have an issue also with four-way stops?
Four-way stops. Now, I will say this much. Now, that's one of my pet peeves when people don't know what to do. But I will tell you another pet peeve of mine. Okay, so if I'm with my husband and he comes to a four-way stop, he doesn't fully stop. All right, he doesn't fully stop. He goes on through. All right, but I came to a four-way stop. Thought I stopped, but I didn't. I kind of moved on through. Nobody was at this four-way stop. And there was a cop sitting right over in the parking lot and decides to come after me with his flashing lights and a siren for me. I mean, I didn't run it. I just came to it, slowed down, and then kind of eased into it,
Yes.
And I got pulled over in a parking lot in front of everybody with the siren going.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, I thought it was somebody else. I thought he was trying to get past me, so I was trying to get out of his way.
You're
And
like, go on, you can go on.
I was like, and I hate to say this, but I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to get me in trouble. But two things. I think if I had been a man, that wouldn't have happened. But because it was me, a woman, I got pulled over like that. I mean, I was not happy when he pulled me over. I was very respectful to him. I was not happy at all. So I'm just going to tell you, there's a difference. There's a big difference. My husband can get away with that, but not me.
Speaking about getting away with things, I was okay, so if you're going slow, I'm gonna do exactly what Amy said, and I'm gonna go real close to you because I feel like you need to go. And I'm gonna push you along, not really, but get close to you. And I was on the way to Amy's house one day, and I was going through this little city, and this guy had pulled right out in front of me, and he was going super slow, and so I was like right on his bumper, not right on his bumper, but close to his bumper. And then I see the lights going around behind me, and I'm like, oh, who did they get? I'm like looking around, and then he gets slower, like right behind me, and I was like, okay, maybe it's the guy in front of me. I'm thinking it's the guy in front of me because he pulled out in front of me. It's got to be his fault. And so then no, he keeps on following me. So I pull into this driveway because there was nothing else to pull into. And this guy comes up to the cop comes up to my window, and he goes, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, no, I have no idea. He goes, do you know how close you were to that bumper? And I was like, yeah, I was maybe a little close. And he goes, no, you were really close. And he said, so you know that you can get a ticket for that. And I said, oh, really? I had no idea. And he goes, and it would cost about $175. And I said, oh my gosh, that's a bunch. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. And so it started to rain. And then this guy like I pulled in a gravel driveway. So this guy in a truck is coming out of the driveway, and he goes, I'm going to move my car over so Bubba can get out. Literally, that was the guy's name. And so he knew the guy, and then it started raining. and he goes, "Where are you headed?" And I told him what I was headed, and he goes, "Okay, well," he said, "I'm going to give you a warning this time, but don't travel too close to other people anymore." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that." And then and then I go on my merry way to Amy's house.
Yeah, the man that stopped me in the siren, I hate to say this, but I wanted to tell him so bad, you need to clean your teeth. Isn't that terrible? You need to clean your teeth.
Amy.
Awful. It's awful. I know. I know. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But I'm just going to tell you, there's no sense in that. There was no sense in that. I didn't,
Which
okay, I
part?
broke the
The
law. I
teeth
broke the
or
law.
the driving?
I break the law. I was like, okay, I admit it. I'm sorry, but why do you do that? I don't get it. But
Did you get
anyway,
a ticket?
yes, I got a ticket.
Hmm.
I got a ticket.
Wow.
Yeah. My father, this is so funny. He would get stopped, I mean, all the time. He would never get a ticket. And he told me, he said, Amy, he said, it all has to do with being respectful. Well, that's just hogwash because I'm just going to tell you, I have been
Amy.
respectful at every time I've ever gotten a ticket. Matter of fact, my husband and I, when we first got married, I was going to go on his insurance. Okay. It's going to go on his insurance for a car. And the representative, the athlete representative says, we're going to have to wait probably about a year because Amy's had a ticket. Too many tickets. And they were all in the month of February, something like that. And he says, what was going on that you got all these tickets in February? And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. But anyway, so I had to wait like a year before I could get on the insurance. And this was the thing. I did not get another ticket after I got married until
Until.
probably about 2 years ago.
Hmm.
2 years ago, I was going the speed limit, but I was coming off a ramp, and that light was yellow. And before I got to that light, it turned red, and I went right through it. It was a dangerous intersection. I did it. The police stopped me, and he was right to give me a ticket. I was wrong, and I told him I'm sorry that I did that. I was just trying to get to my parents. There was no excuse. There was no excuse. But I just said, I deserve the ticket. He says, well, I have to give it to you because it's not fair. You break the law, blah, blah, blah. So I respected that. It was fine. That was
Yes.
fine. And I've at times I've been very scared for my husband to tell him things. So a lot of times I don't tell him anything. I try to tell him everything, and I really kind of do tell him everything, but he don't want to hear it. But anyway, I'm just going to tell you. I told him, I said, I ran it. I deserved it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you something. The four-way stop, I did not deserve that one. I did not deserve that one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do that quite often at four-way stops. Yeah.
Everybody does. Now I stop at every last one of them.
Yeah. I bet you
Every
do.
last, I did. I stopped at every last one. I want another ticket. I mean, that was like $100 and something. I was like, man, good grief.
Yeah. I got a police escort one time.
You did?
Yes. Why am I saying this on our video? But yes, because I was in a hurry. It was when I was at Auburn, and I was supposed to be at the vet school, which I worked there at the emergency critical care ward, and I was running late, and so I was speeding down Wire Road, and
Thanks.
and then I get pulled over, and okay, so this was not a lie. It was a little like exaggeration, but not a lie. So he said, "Are you in a hurry to go somewhere?" And I said, yes, I am. I said, I'm working at the vet school. And I said, and we have a mare that's about to foal and I need to hurry up and get there. And he goes, oh, are you a veterinarian? I didn't say no. And so
We're just telling all kinds of stuff on ourselves.
and so he said, okay, well, I'm headed that way. So he just let me go behind him and I got on in there fast and then I had to pull in and run in the door like I was in an emergency. I know.
Oh my man.
Which really there was a foal that, was born and so it was good. I'm glad I got there.
I am too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Safely.
Yes.
Safely.
Even though I wasn't delivering the foal. But
well, if you like drive the speed limit, my dad always told me if you drive the speed limit, you will get there pretty much the same time as somebody who is speeding. And
I don't.
Well, because usually the person that is speeding, they come to the same red lights or the stop signs. So that slows them down. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare kind of thing.
Yes.
And I have found out that is kind of true in a way. Not always, but it really isn't. I get nervous when I'm riding with somebody and they are not really paying attention. They're talking more to me than they are like paying attention to the road, and they'll come up to somebody and like be so close to them, and I'm sitting there going, I'm fixing to die right now. I'm not saying that, not you. I'm not talking about you. I've been in the car with some people that they look off. They'll look off and they're looking at you and they're just not looking at the road, or they're on their phone trying to text somebody or do something that drives me crazy. I'm like, I'm fixing to die. And they're going way over the speed limit. So yeah, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit more cautious. Because when you get older, your reaction time is just not so great.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Fix your lights.
I can see. It's just you.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
What'd you say?
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Some lights. Hey, that would be a nice present. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
It would be. No, well, thanks for joining in today. The moral of this story is drive safely. And, just if you're on somebody else's nerves for driving the way that you do, just, drive safely. That's all I can say. Oh man. Well, y'all have a good afternoon and thanks for joining in. As always, subscribe to our channel and email us if you have any complaints about our driving. No, don't. Really.
Yeah.
No. But y'all have a good afternoon and we will see you next time. Bye.